Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a zone 4B, and I'm back. There's a lot of beauty in my garden right now, and I definitely want to show you. It was just a really bad, stressful week for me. It started off with my beagle. He's 6.5, needing a dental, and he has to have, I would say, 75% of his teeth removed. And then also, he was diagnosed with a heart murmur 2 years ago, and now he's on his first med for heart issues. So there was that, and then my dogs and I were caught in the rain on Wednesday. Checked the radar, looked really good, and yeah, that was pretty intense. I mean, it poured, just dumped. And then the flooding in my backyard, it was up to my back door, to my laundry room. I had worms in my laundry room. No water inside, thank goodness. And then the tree falling on my kennel. So it was just kind of like a little too much at that time. And but we're all doing good. House is good. Weather's been gorgeous. So I thought, life's too short. So let's enjoy some beauty. So this is about week 3 for my tour. These are just the pansies I started. Doing really good. I would say they went through about a 2-week bounce back. And then I just used chicken manure pellets in here. And then I had some kale in the middle, just one. They'll be in here for about 2 more weeks, maybe 3. I like to have these containers planted up about the middle of June. Just because a lot of the plants I use in these containers tolerate the heat. These will not. I mean, depending on our weather. Could be a cooler summer. This one's burgundy. I just like how they're filling out with the green. Because the blooms will come. They were looking a little spindly. Just growing too long in their cans indoors. And then the tulips are just starting. I don't know what variety these are. I think last year at the end of fall I was just petering out and I just put them wherever. These orange ones were from 2 years ago. Or I should say, well, 2 falls ago that I planted them. And I like them. They're kind of a really standout color. I did trim my Bobo hydrangeas. This one at the end here looks really good. But I'm just glad to see growth on all of them. I didn't trim them a whole lot. I just pretty much took off the heads and that's it. The lamium, so I do like tulips. I just don't like how the foliage falls on everything around them. And it kind of smothers it out, so it's kind of laying on the lamium right now. I think it'll be okay. But finally, that's looking really good too. I think give it about 1 to 2 weeks and that'll be in bloom. Just hardy geraniums, looking good. Oh, look at the heuchera, Palace purple. It kind of blends in now, but I think once the bobos really leaf out, you'll definitely see that foliage back there. And I'm hoping the lamium starts to come over and then you'll see that contrast. Look at the Jacob's ladder. Can't wait. Look at, so cool. I'm just kind of concerned about the mosquitoes just because it took about, I would say 4 days for all of the water to drain away in my backyard. So that's an issue. The Chantilly lace goat's beard. Just amazed at that growth. Oh. I'm starting to get some spikes there. Nice. It's about 7:30 in the morning, so I try not to talk too loud just so I don't bug people and wake them up. So hopefully you can hear me. It rained again last night, but a gentle rain. One where you can fall asleep to it. It's just so soothing. The type of rain you wish you could always get. So, which always looks fantastic on the lady's mantle. There's And then look at that happy sight. My Sun King Aurelias. That is just glows. Last week we had some days that got into the upper 80s, so which made everything pop. And then now it's kind of slowing down again, which is good for the tulips and the daffodils and hopefully the lilacs. Last year they just went through their bloom phase so fast. And this is the black lace elderberry. I did trim up a little bit. I left some because there was some green in the branches. I might just go in there at some point and cut it all off. I'm just giving it a chance. These are cool as a cucumber hostas, and all three did come back. Not very impressive right now, but they're still growing. I do have to come in and put in a few more of the Melting Fire coral bells. I have a lot that I started from seed. And I figure these hostas are not going to be quite so big, so I'll just kind of come in here, here. That takes forever. That's a Siberian Cypress. I'm still debating about this arborvitae here. There is more browning that has come about. So I'm not sure. I have a feeling there's going to be lots of changes happening. I don't know about this year, but I have a feeling next year. I don't know. Snow in the mountain. I have not mowed yet. I think it's going to be tricky mowing in the back, and which you will see. But I do need to, and the lawnmower will I'll chop all that off and keep it maintained. Aggressive, but beautiful. And the crocuses, I have not gotten any blooms. I'll show you over here real quick and go back. They left it for me. Isn't that nice of them? Just to, those squirrels. And this, I still have to get in here. I've been just busy doing cleanup instead of planting, which I was ahead of schedule and I was so excited about. And then now this has probably set me back by about 2-3 weeks. Look at these tulips. This is a perfect area for them because it's well draining. And not only that, by the time they're done blooming, the hostas will come up and cover those leaves. So they'll hide it. So I do like them over here. And they're not smothering any plants around them. Some in substance. That one looks really good this year. Again, more of that. I just kind of did pockets of them. Solomon seal. Kind of amazing how much growth has happened in a week. I can't believe just a week ago all of the storm issues happened. It's felt like a lot longer, I'm not gonna lie. I think the biggest part is I was just missing my kennel dog area. They're definitely not used to being walked on the leash for potties. Oh, look. This is the Tiarella. I'm actually going to get blooms. How cool is that? I've always had issues growing a Tiarella. Still a lot to emerge in that garden. This one takes a little bit to fill out. So, I always remember as a kid my mom saying when she had company over, don't mind the mess. So I'm just going to say, don't mind the mess right now. There's a lot happening. But look at this. Is this not amazing? That's why I'm like, I have to show you guys. Curly Face Hosta, what can I say? And then these are the Japanese painted fern, I think the crested surf. I love that. This little pulmonaria down here, it might be small, but it's got blooms on it. And yeah, the ostrich ferns are a little happy, don't you think? I'll have to keep on top of that, but I think they'll look amazing here. And then also down here, I just noticed this. This is the spearmint heuchera. It also is going to be having blooms on it. I didn't realize that they bloomed that early. I know there's different cycles, but I think Palace Purple is a little later in the season. Maybe I'm wrong, but look at that one. I say everything is nice and wet. Big difference from last year. April was a cloudy month last year, but we didn't get much rain in April, May, I think. Well, okay, so from Wednesday to Thursday, we had 7 inches of rain dumped on us. And that's more than what we got the entire season last year. I'm really liking the spearmint. That's proven to be a really good grower. Goat spear back there. I think this is the Spartacus. A lot of times I buy hostas just based on their names. That is going to get big, but it's going to have a chance to grow here. Look at this. Summon Substance. This is one I got from a plant sale last year. That is quite hefty. That is huge. And then that will be a giant Solomon seal at some point. Not this year. Alright, I gotta step. Oh, my sump pump. Just be careful because it's been pushing out. When we had that about every 30 seconds, it was pushing out. I was just, please don't give out. Brunnera. I think this is Jack of Diamonds. Look at that. I made it just in time. Love how the sun just comes through. This is going to be a slow tour. I've been in such a rush the entire week. It kind of feels good to slow down and just enjoy it. And those birds. They were definitely liking I'm going to say pond back here. You should have seen the goldfinches. That was crazy. Like, okay, at least someone's enjoying it. These kind of remind me of forget-me-nots, don't they? I could look at them forever. So far, this is probably one of my favorites, and it's not Jack of Diamonds. The one over there is a Proven Winners. I'm not sure what this is. This is not a Proven Winners one. I just think that the foliage is a little more striking, a little more silvery. It's been here the longest though, but I just think it's amazing. And then this is always a happy sight back here with the goat's beard. Bleeding Heart is okay. It should be putting on more of a show than this. That little bloom in there, I think what does it is it's right under the overhang, and you can see where it kind of trenches there. Let me see. So it just gets hammered by the rain. I don't know if you can see her. Probably not. Willow. She's looking through the bottom there. I'm surprised my beagle's not back there either. I have a bench back there so they can look out. And then the Hakana coral grass looks really good. And then this heuchera here is absolutely just amazing. Obsidian. I love it this year. Who knows next year? A lot of times heucheras for me are just kind of a short-lived perennial. So you can see where they came up. I think they hit the rock and shifted it, but I'm just happy that they didn't drive over anything here right now. This is shrimp on the Barbie pulmonaria, lungwort. Very pink blooms. I planted this last year, I want to say in the fall. I think it's doing amazing. And then I do have some grape hyacinths back there. I have them throughout the gardens. I have some of the small ones, and then there's some giant ones. So I'm guessing maybe this one back here is the giant. And then my daffodils. I do have takes in somewhere. I just forgot to get them out for this. They're doing so good here. I'm going to kind of take you around the other way. It's kind of a mess back there too. The sweet woodruff is... This is a ground cover I highly recommend. It is absolutely just dainty. And we'll get white blooms. And it smells so lovely. I just think it looks amazing. More of the spearmint here, along with ajuga. This is going to have lots of blooms on it. I can't wait for that. I did take the cage off my azalea. You can see it's pushing out some green growth now. Can't wait to see that bloom. And then some more giant grape hyacinths. Don't think those are blooming yet. I think they're just starting. I think this hosta here is Wolverine. That one's amazing. Yeah, and then my mulch is all over the place. It's in places where I'm like, it's over here, along with pine needles. Yeah. Crazy. I think this is tete-a-tete. These tiny little daffodils. So right now this area is kind of a purple, blue, yellow area, and I really like it a lot. See, this is where I had put all of just my brush to go to the dump site, and since then I have not been able to get there because of due to weather, storms. This is a mess back here. I feel like it looks like a beaver dam. So, yeah, and then these are, I think they're Godzilla Ferns. I moved them last year. I was debating about it, and they're doing really good. I'll just have to focus. Kind of stepped back there and lost my balance. And I think that next to this pulmonaria will look really great. Is it Silver Bouquet? I think so. And then Lily of the Valley is all over in here. Very happy. I thought I killed most of it. I can definitely tell that these hostas are loving their life with all of this moisture. This heuchera was looking tough. I think this is marmalade, but it's doing a lot better. So yeah, this is where I'm going to say don't mind the mess. Because I left some of these, but I was trying to save some other ones because they were just about 4 or 5 inches underwater. But this hosta is doing really good here. Bridal Falls. I was worried that they were going to need to get to this area, but they did not trample over here. So it's doing really good. This has got a little better drainage than other areas. But remember how I said this hardy geranium was doing pretty good this year? Yeah, not so much. They had to drive over this one. I was just getting tired, and digging plants out of sludge is not fun, so I did leave that lady's mantle. They're common. I can get them. I can also grow them from seed. Right now I'm just waiting till the people who removed the tree branch are the ones that did my fence. So the arborist will be coming to let me know what's going on. And then I'll figure that out once I know what they're going to do. Humpback whale. Looks amazing. The only hosta that kind of took it is the one down here. And that one was and that's fine. And then I was I'm on Operation Save these plants. So I'm just trying to figure out, I can't plant in my gardens right now because they're wet. So I've just been putting them in containers. And this is a Bridal Falls hosta in here. I would like to be planted a little deeper because you can still see the white down there. But that was the biggest size for that. I did plant that up. I will do a container tour at some point, or the start of one. This lamium looks really good. And this is where, so this stayed, this mulch, but you can see the rest got pushed all the way over here. And then all of my mulch has gone over in here. This is why whenever I say this is a tricky spot, I try and plant plants that like wet conditions because of this reason. This was a little extreme. I've never had it that bad. Yes, I do have a peony back here. It will probably be struggling at some point. But it's just, that's why Lily of the Valley. Sorry. They look really good. So I have Siberian Iris. I have Camasias. I have Hostas, love it. And these grasses too back here, the Korean feathery grass can take a little wet conditions. 4 days of being underwater is a little extreme, but they look pretty good. Lady's mantle too has pulled through. There might be some areas that's a little yucky, but look at the Pagoda Dogwood, the golden shadows. And this too can take some wetter conditions. It's not optimal to be setting in water. But just happy to see that. It does have its flower heads on there. Or buds, I should say. Can't wait for that. This is just also a beacon in the garden. And then the astilbes like it. They look really good, but not the pulmonaria. So when it does finally dry up, I'm going to be moving these two. I'm surprised they look as good as they do. I'm not sure about the giant fleece flower. That looks like it took it. We'll see what happens. It is a beast, so it'll be okay. I'm not sure why this valerian is different from that one. I'm not liking that one right here. I think I'm going to get rid of that, but I'm going to let it go through its bloom first. I want to see what it's like. But the Kiloni is doing fine from all that. If I were to walk in my gardens right now, I would think. I do have some Juga down here, but I don't know. And then the Siberian Cypress does not mind either. I think that's why some plants spread the way they do in my gardens, because they just like those wet conditions. I'm just gonna plant some hanging baskets. I did move some goat's beard over here. I left these. There is some drooping on these, so that's also how you can kind of tell some damage with water damage. Surprised about the sedums. Look. I thought these would be bucking and wilting, but they're not. Really happy about that. This daffodil is getting close to being finished. So all in all, I'm very surprised about the resilience of the plants. So don't be in such a hurry to get rid of plants if you have a lot of water. Just let them be. Only reason why I moved some over there is because they were working around that area and they were my favorites. The Ligularia, though, that is the first one I noticed to throw a fit with all the water. And it's funny because this plant tolerates moisture. I expected this, and this is a sad sight with this peony here. I don't know if you can see the wilting down there. One of my favorite peonies, and yeah. But even if a portion of the plant lives, I will be super happy about that. So I did not have a lot of loss with plants. I'm just showing you here. I had put a lady's mantle in here. Right now, I'm trying to figure out my beds because I had ideas what I wanted to do, but right now I have a lot of perennials all over just so I can save them. I'm going to try and walk quick to the back because I feel that this is going to be such a long tour. And then I planted the grasses here. I bought them last year, so I didn't want to just go, what happens, happens. I spent some good money on these. And I was going to do comfrey back here. At this point, I might need this for a holding bed for plants. And all of the pine needles, and I like pine needles. They help with slugs, so they can go in my gardens. I think they make fantastic mulch. Back here is the alum root that's native, and it looks fantastic, so I'm glad I kept it. And these, I was just going to plant annuals, but right now I have my goat's beard in here because I didn't know where else to put them. Giant alliums, I think ambassador or gladiator. This, I'm so happy with this clematis here. Look at all of that. Viticella Polish Spirit or Pride. And then probably should. This one is Pink Mink, and that is not as vigorous. So if that one gives out, I will go with another Viticella. Talk about an aggressive grower and fantastic. So there's the other goat's beard. I think I lost the clematis over here. Not surprising, it does not like wet. Grasses still look good. I'm not so sure about this shrub over here. And this peony, I'm not seeing any wilting yet. It could be a little too soon. I am worried about the Annabelle Hydrangea, but it might be okay. It still looks good. I really want to see that one have a bloom on it. All these in here is the Philippendula, Queen of the Prairie, to get in there and pull them. Right now would be a good time because it is so wet. And then my honeysuckle, oh thank goodness. I think this is a little higher up too, so got some buds forming all over. there's water in there, but I'll water some of my plants with that. I was going to dump it out. I'm like, no, that's perfectly good water. That's the plus side. Lots of rainwater to water with. Just going to show you real quick. I'm not going to do a winter sowing reveal. Only reason because there's really nothing to show because they were all over here and they sat in water that entire time. So when I went to open, oh, that stunk so bad. But I do have some Orlea that came up, 3, so, and some Larkspur. So I'm just gonna leave it sit here. This is a nice container. It's really deep. They can sit in here for a while. So not a complete success because only 3 of the Orlea came up out of 3 rows. It was just a really bad season 2 for winter sowing with April. March was warmer than April, so everything was against the winter sowing this year. And then in here, I just had some cabbage. I will tell you the variety later. I forgot what it is, but it's a really pretty one. I got it from Baker Creek. So that was a huge success. I just need to get that into this bed over here where it's covered with the netting. Oh, can you see? I thought that rain was going to just disperse everything and flatten. Nope. Happy little campers in there. Look at these tulips. What can I say? After this, I'm going to cut a bunch and give them to my mom because she loves tulips and they're just gorgeous. This is Blushing Lady. I can't say enough about this tulip. It's fantastic. It's long stem. Love it. And the alliums are going to be blooming at some point, I would say a week to 2 weeks. Covered in buds. The penstemon finally looks good. That went through a lull. My Itopini, again, there are just some plants that I really want to survive, and this one looks fantastic. I took the cage off of this one. It was just too small. I'm still debating what I want to plant. I don't know if I'm going to go with perennials right now because I know they have to get in here and fix this fence. They just have it secured over here with this post. So I really don't want to plant anything. I'm thinking just sweet potato vines. Just let it be a ground cover. And I figure they grow pretty quickly and strongly. And not worry about the perennial. And if they step on the annual, oh well. I don't feel like digging up those. That was a feat in itself. This clematis here, Nellie Moser, is unbelievable. The Nepeta, they might be bouncing back a little bit. I've noticed it more in the cat's pajamas, but actually not doing, oh, this one back here. There was some damage to that one in the back, if you can see. I think it'll be okay. I know I have a lot of planting to do in this area. I mean, look how it's really filled in. I did trim up all my roses here. This one I moved later in the season, but I'm just very happy to see that much growth. That's the Italian Ice Oh So Easy Rose. And I had fertilized them. The lamb's ear looks amazing. But here's where these tulips, after this tour, I'm just going to get rid of them because they're just on top of everything here and smothering. And right now there's a huge, and they're past their prime. They're pretty. They're offering that color in here. When I look out here, it is. So I'll think about it. And then fernleaf peony. Look how the water shines on that. I don't know if you can see it through film. It just kind of sparkles. The fernleaf peony is one of the first peonies to bloom. Also a super expensive peony. I know when I went to price it, usually one shoot is about $40. Or one eye, if you want to say. I got this from a friend, otherwise that's spendy. This is a bleeding heart right here. This is where I keep kind of getting rid of the foliage. Lots of salvias in here. It's just going to be a purple one. No way. That's just cool. That is my columbine. The pink yellow swan I started from seed last year. I also started more from seed for this year, because I was afraid that these weren't going to come back, and I love them so much. I can't say enough about that one. Bevan's variety, hardy dream. How am I missing all of this? I'm seeing this the first time as you are. How cool is that? Oh, I can't wait. I love this. Bevan's variety, I think this is an amazing geranium. I'm still debating if I want to just leave this open and kind of let it will grow in. I must have had a lot of blushing lady. And then these are taking a little bit longer to fill in. Grasses are doing good here. A bit bigger than what I was expecting, but I'm really liking that. Some of these I started from seed, but I'm not quite sure on what some of these are. So sometimes when you get seeds and you start it, it may not be that plant. It could have come from some, which is always fun to find out. And this is just a Shasta Daisy. I think it's Snow Lady, very short one. Looks like my columbine is taken over. I did have something in here. I got rid of it because it was just not scabiosa, and it did not like the winter. It had like uprooted. So over here too is more like save those plants. So in here I have another Bridal Falls, and then I put one in here. And where you see this kind of stuff, that's chicken manure pellets. It's fantastic for hostas. So yeah, so I'm not sure if this is where it's going to stay for the season or what I have in mind. But for the time being, they're some of my favorite hostas, so I was not ready to get rid of them. My climbing rose, I think I can finally get here today and tie it in, but lots of growth up there. And this one too. William Baffin. Yeah, my rhubarb is, I was not expecting this much growth on it. It's definitely a big variety. I know they say you're not supposed to harvest on it for what, till the 3rd year. I might have to, just to make some room in here until I can, well, I wanted to plant it over here. And I think this would be a really good spot because it's got a lot. I'm just tired of digging up plants right now. I'm really sore. This is Veronica, I know that for sure, with this, and then that one here and here. But like I said, this growth down here is just a little, it might be, maybe a little different. These roses, not the best. We'll see what happens. And this is the Oh So Easy Double Red. One of my favorites, but I'll see what happens because it doesn't look all that great. And look, isn't this amazing? Last time you could barely see it, and now this is Baptisia, Pink Lemonade. This is going to be stunning this year. And then this rose looks really good here. And that one not so much. So if I do lose some, I definitely have plants. So, which is all back here, which I don't know where I'm going to put, because where I was going to put them, I have other plants right now. So I'm running out of room. Look at the daylilies. Going Bananas is the name. And then I have my hydrangea cuttings, like 3 years old now. Kind of in a predicament. Never thought I'd say I have too many plants. I just planted this up too. I just have the Korean featherweed grasses I planted last fall. They're doing really good. And then I have echinops. I have 3 of them in here, along with some Gara in between. And then kind of grouped over here. And then this is my Calamintha, just the purple one. And in front here, this is just, I think it's called the Poached Eggplant. It's So I wanted a little yellow in here. It might not last long, but maybe it'll be enough. I just did this so they look a little tough. They'll take a little bouncing back. But these are all the same. I just wanted to keep it kind of to a theme this year with yellow, blue, and, you know, then the plumes from the grasses. I think it'll look really good. I probably put too much in again. But a lot of these are perennials, so they might not do a whole lot of growing. Rose is looking really good here. And then I can't wait for the lilacs. I would say 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. Is there anything over here I want to... I still have to trim up my hydrangeas. I'm really behind on that. I was going to do it last week and life happened. They'll be fine. They'll be perfectly fine. I think this year I might just go easy on them. And I don't know. I know you can take off a good amount, but... And this. And then I have some more stuff out here waiting to be planted or go to friends and family. I was going to plant my tomatoes and I'm not, because the weekend they're showing lows in like 39 or 37. It kind of goes back and forth. That's too low for me and for the plants, so they're definitely not going to like it. So hopefully enjoy this tour. I know it probably got a little bit long. I know I was a little chatty about everything that's going on in life, and if there's any plants that you're wondering about, please leave it in the comments down below. I will get back to you, and I'm just going to leave you with this pretty sight over here. Oh. I don't think the camera's doing it justice. Alright, hopefully enjoyed, and bye for now.